Hello, St. Stephen's friends. I'm Pat Wingo, the interim rector here. Will and I are coming to you today to talk about the program year. We're excited to tell you all the details. Even though we are still in the middle of the pandemic, we are glad to be able to do some things that you will recognize that have been done here in past years. And we want to tell you how we're going to do the program and make it safe for everyone and still have fun.
I'm Will Stanley, the vicar here at St. Stephen's, and I know many of us are tired of pivoting and changing. Well, your clergy and lay staff join you in that. And yet we are grateful for the experience and the wisdom that we've gleaned over these last 18 months of pandemic. We are still in the midst of the pandemic with the Delta variant rising and with our particular concern for the unvaccinated, especially children and those connected with them. So our program life has to look different than past years. But when we look about how we were a year ago, we're in a much better and different place. So many of the things we're going to talk about today are formed within a familiar container, but will be happening in slightly different ways with various restrictions adding for us to do it safely. So let's now go into the church and have a conversation about all those details.
So we've come into the church to talk more about some of the details to continue our worship and continue our programs for the year. Rally Day will be on September 12th, Will, and we've got a lot of fun things planned, and we want to try and do that as well as we can. What are some of the things that we might do?
So we're going to treat Rally Day for the pivotal moment it is in this parish's life of transitioning us back from the summer into the fall. So our schedule will go back to 8, 9, 11:15, 5:30, and 8. St. Stephen's has a really full worship schedule, and that will even get more full starting the 12th.
Yeah.
So this space will have a number of principal liturgies going on. And Rally Day traditionally has been a time here, of course I say that having never seen a Rally Day actually happen here before,
Sure.
But it is an opportunity for folks to get engaged, to recommit to being involved in different ministries or try on new ones. And a lot of that just by nature of the pandemic and the nature of how our world has changed in terms of engagement and signups and the like, that means Rally Day this year is going to be different. It's all going to take place outside and with different opportunities for folks to learn about what's going on and then to sign up in other ways using our website and other mechanisms.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
What will people expect to see when they come in to worship on Rally Day?
Sure. So worship, I think, it's gonna look a lot like what it looked like on Labor Day Sunday, except there's going to be a few changes, and even they might be coming at a different time. So we are going to go back to taking the step of marking off every other pew, which people remember from some months ago. That just ensures that we're a little more socially distanced, which we know will only help buffer us from COVID transmission. So we're dusting off these signs that we had, please choose another pew, a sort of light but clear direction. And these will be out beginning September 12th for all services, just to ensure that we can be a little more distant from each other.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things we've decided, which is that, as you can see, Pat and I are both wearing these sort of fancy new St. Stephen's emblem masks. And we have been strongly encouraging folks to wear masks, calling them to care for their neighbors, to be about the work of being the body of Christ together. And we're now moving that into a requirement that all people are masked except when they have a speaking role up here in the chancel area. We're also going to require that anyone who's a ministry leader or volunteer,
Yeah.
including from everything from clergy to the usher or greeter who meets you at the door, that all of us are going to prove that we're vaccinated. It's another step of us modeling a kind of behavior and some insurance that we're doing that as safe a manner as possible.
And as we talked about in the video we made a few weeks ago, all of this really is about loving one another, as you mentioned. All of this is about being servants to each other and having the same sort of self-emptying that Jesus himself did, as St. Paul talks about in Philippians 2. So we're not doing this randomly. We are discussing some of the protocols with advisors who are doctors and other folks that are in touch with this stuff. So we feel like we are doing the prudent and careful things to keep everybody safe and to love each other.
Absolutely. There are some things that we don't yet feel we have to do, like capping the number of people at a service or requiring folks to register. Some of that will take some administrative burden off of us from what we remember from past times. We also know that having more services will by its nature help spread out folks. And we also are in this nave, this church space, which thanks to your generosity has enabled us to really up our game in terms of streaming and recording and audio equipment.
Absolutely.
So that that the 1115 and Celtic will continue to be live streamed, as well as Compline being recorded.
And why don't you say something about using the space in a bigger way, the plans around that?
Yeah, so because of those opportunities, we really have come to see this as in some ways our safest indoor space for our sense of being a village green, of coming in and out, of gathering people in a safe manner. And that includes both physically here, distanced and masked, but also people engaging virtually. The ability for community to be happening at different planes of reality, if you will. So things like the forum, which is a beloved tradition here, isn't going to be on Zoom this year. It's going to be in person, but it's going to be in this space. And it's going to allow folks to be present, distanced in that formation hour between the 9 and 11:15. But it's also going to be a time where that can be live streamed and recorded. And the place where we're going to do a lot of communicating and teaching and building of community in this time, also a transition where we're going to start out talking about that, looking at the year ahead, and also invite some beloved speakers back to this place, including Tom Blair, the former rector of this place, who's going to teach 3 different Sundays, doing what he does best, and including other guest speakers and the like.
Right.
We're also going to have the adult inquirers class in this place, which will be on Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 8. I'm teaching that again this fall, and it's an opportunity for folks who are brand new to our life, who joined us in the pandemic, to folks who've been here for quite a while, to re-engage with the basics of their faith and provide a pathway for folks who may want to be confirmed or received down the line.
Yeah, and you know, one of the great things that we can hold on to is that we're still going to sing. The choir is still going to be up in the chancel in limited numbers, but they'll still be there, those services, both the main services. And so we'll have music, which is so important to all of us. The Celtic service will continue. There'll be so many things that feel the same as we worship together. So that's really exciting for folks too, I hope.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Will, another thing that's really important to this faith community is Palmer Hall. What are we going to be able to do about that this year?
Absolutely. Well, you'll remember that we haven't had Palmer Hall since before the pandemic. And we are particularly attuned to how much that's needed by young families and children and those around them, but also how tenuous that can be as that population still is not able to be vaccinated.
Right.
But we've done some really good creative thinking. We have put our heads together, and we have a surprise for what Palmer Hall is going to look like, and it will return on September 12th.
I can't wait to see the surprise.
And this is the surprise. Palmer Hall will return on September 12th, and it will be here under a large 40 by 80 foot tent that we have purchased. This will give us an opportunity to provide a service like Palmer Hall that is safe for all to be a part of, for children, for their families and grandparents. It will take place here under this tent. It will involve even more aspects of catechesis of the Good Shepherd, and it will also be a place where our community can gather at other times for meals and other opportunities to take advantage of being out here in the fresh air.
I want you to know that our staff has worked really hard on making these changes. The vestry has been excited about supporting us, and we are really working together as a team to bring all these programs to you. I am holding the latest edition of Seasons of the Spirit, which is in the mail. Some of you may have received it already. There's a lot of great information in here about our program year. Some of it, because of the pivot that we are doing, will be a little bit different, and we hope that you'll check our wonderful website to make sure that the details are clear. Will, what are some of those details?
Well, overarching principle we're holding to is that we will still allow small groups, Emmaus groups, book studies, Bible studies, to meet indoors, as long as everyone is masked and there is some social distancing. And groups can still meet outside, as we are, unmasked and distanced, and we'll continue that into the winter months. That is our plan as of now. So small groups can still meet, but have to meet somewhat in a different form. And that goes also for youth formation offerings and the like. Because young people can be vaccinated, we're allowing them to still meet indoors, distanced and masked. These are one of the principles we're using for all kinds of groups coming and wanting to meet, to continue a sense of fellowship and connection, to stay engaged in this time.
Some of you may also recognize this space behind us as the place where we have our Celtic dinners. We hope to continue Celtic dinners as long as we can and as long as we can eat outside. We will be changing the format a little bit to make sure that we can stay safe and that we have the proper help in the kitchen.
And we've also made the decision not to hold Wednesday night suppers this fall. Those traditionally happen indoors and are surrounded by a lot of other programming, particularly rehearsals for children's choirs, for Palmer Hall, for the Virginia Girls Choir. And we cannot ensure that folks stay indoors and masked if they're eating a meal. So that's why we've made the decision not to hold Wednesday night suppers this fall.
So as you can see, we've got a lot of great things planned for this program year. We hope that you will participate as much as you can and as you are able. We're excited about offering these things, and we look forward to seeing you here at church.
We are looking forward to this year ahead, and we invite you to come as you're able and to follow all of the latest developments at the link that you'll find at the bottom of the video to keep apprised of all the changes, which we know will come with the times that we're in, but we will be grateful to see you soon.
God bless.